Today's topic is on bullying. We've been hearing this word so much all around the school, at home, and people suffering from the repercussions of bulliers. Let's start by the basics. What is bullying? Bullying is somebody using power or intimidation onto somebody who he thinks is less powerful than him. So the strong over the weak. And this means that the person, the bullier, is not strong, because it's not courageous to use the power on somebody who is less powerful than you. There are several ways of bullying. You have the physical, you have the words, and by being mean and using gossip. You have the emotional one, putting down somebody. You have the cyberbullying. We'll talk about each and every one, but the most important one for now is the act of inflicting pain onto the other person and feeling good about it. Usually we go more into taking care of the victim or of the child who is in the position of being a victim. But I think that we need to cater for both, because the person who is inflicting pain is also in pain, because no one who's happy will think of inflicting pain onto somebody else. And somebody who's happy, or who is self-confident, or who is fine with himself, who is able to acknowledge that sometimes he could be angry, but it doesn't mean that if he's angry he has to put it out on somebody who's mostly weaker than him. I've had lots of experience with these situations, and every time I talk to somebody who's acted as a bullier, all the time I hear his story, and there's always a painful story behind it. There's always sufferance behind it. It's a language. Violence is a language, and you need to help this person to create another kind of language. But this language, he learned it from at home or at school or with other people. Sometimes there's lots of tension. It's a way to prove that I'm here. It's a way to prove that please look at me. And I think it's also a cry for help. So whenever we have a situation that somebody is hurting another person, the most important part is to let them acknowledge, both of them, that they are in pain. The victim, when he knows that, or she knows that the other person is also somebody who's suffering, it will ease the pain. And when the person who's hurting is aware and is able to see and connect with the pain of the other person, I think it will decrease the anger and the tension between them. Bulliers also are afraid to see differences, because we always use this power over somebody who is, we said, weaker, but also who is different. And when he's different, it means that he's different than us. So or we're right and he's wrong, or he's wrong and we are right. So it's always a dichotomy. It's like the division of how we see people. So it's all about also to make this difference not very scary. Lots of people, they think that if the other person is not like me, it means that I have something wrong in me. Lots of people who hurt other people, it's very important to highlight that, for parents mostly, that they've been hurt by somebody who is stronger than them somewhere else. Because the story of the bullier is a long story. It doesn't happen like this. Nobody is born and directly I want to be a bullier. There's lots of jealousy, there's lots of competition, like we said before. There's lots of something that is not working on well. And when we punish them only and we stop there, we're only enhancing more the violence, because he will receive it or she will receive it as violence. So it will enhance the violence, and the behavior is going to be more and more, and the emotion is going to be stuck in the person. It's very important to explain to children that it's okay to be angry, it's okay to be sad, it's okay to have all these feelings. All what we want to explain to children and teach them is that you need to be responsible of your feelings, you need to be responsible also of your actions. And whenever you feel any feeling, you need to be able to embrace it, to accept it, and then to go ahead and do something about it. And this gives the person much more power and much more control over the situation that he's in. When we talk about the other party, the child who is a victim, we need to also go into his story. Is he always in these positions, or it's only with this person or with this group of people? Because sometimes the bullying is not only one person, it's a group of people. So we need to give him or her a situation where he feels that he can be more in power, more self-confident, and more being able to accept himself. And we need definitely to make him feel that it's not a situation where he cannot get out of, because lots of victims, I've been seeing them, think that this is the end of the world. And if this person thinks of me like that, it means that I am like that with everybody and everywhere, and it will follow me, this hurting. We need to give them more self-confidence by asking questions, by going more into how they perceive themselves without the act of bullying. Just to come back to the idea of cyberbullying, why is it more severe and more dangerous? Because the person who is sending the message is not seeing and not really aware of what is the real reaction of the other party. So he could send a message that is very violent, but the other person could cry, could do something, could not feel anything. We don't know. So it's more mean. It's more. It has more impact on the other person. And when you don't feel the pain of the other person, it makes it easy on you to be able to send a message that is more violent. So this is something also we need to take care of. Parents need to be extremely present in these messages on all social media. Another thing is about what to do in schools. What are the kind of activities that you can do in schools to be able to give a chance to both parties to live a better life? Our anti-bullying campaigns, we are putting the violence and the bullying as a title. I would suggest something else, which is why not happiness? Why not happiness day, or caring day, or empathy day? So all the activities will be on triggering the feeling good when I help somebody else. Example, lots of people who are very brave at school are bullied, okay? So what about we give this person who's a good student the task of helping somebody who is not that of a good student, who most probably would bully the other person? What would happen? Just look at it. He will understand that I need you as much as you need me. And this feeling, it makes us more humane. It makes us more knowing that I have the power inside of me to solve problems and to reach out. There are lots of activities that you can suggest to students. One of them is even with pets, know that when I help somebody who's weaker, it will bring me much more self-confidence, much more power than on hurting them, and to make them experience the difference between short-term satisfaction and long-term satisfaction. Because when I beat somebody or when I gossip, I send him a very nasty message. Yes, on the moment I feel good about it, I feel powerful, I feel in front of everybody that I'm good. But what happens when I sleep at night and I remember that? I hear lots of nightmares and lots of recurrent anxiety that happens, and it will not be on the story by itself but on other things. Let's give the other example of if I did something good to somebody. No matter what, I would feel good about myself. It's a human thing. And our responsibility as adults is to give the children a platform of something that they can do about it, because children sometimes they don't know what to do other than hitting somebody else or cursing somebody else. But it's our responsibility to show them by our behavior first, by how much we take care of other people, and how much we take care of ourselves, and to give a chance and to give a good example to these kids.